All right. Hey everyone, this is Rudy, and this video is simply going to be me reading a letter from Ken Hovind that I got from prison just a couple of days ago. And my wife and I wrote Ken Hovind a letter after we saw him in Pastor Anderson's After the Tribulation movie, and he replied back. Now a lot of this is it's not specific to me. It's kind of a, you know, as you can imagine, Ken Hovind gets probably thousands of letters all the time, and this is just a stock letter he sends out, so I'm just going to read it. It's kind of long, and I'm hoping to get it in 15 minutes if I can. So I'm going to read really quickly, and that's all this is going to be. So if you're not interested in hearing a letter from Ken Hovind, you can turn it off. Let me also say that I'm not associated with Ken Hovind in any way. The man doesn't know me. I have communicated with him via mail a few times, but you know, he would probably think I'm a heretic, right? I think I posted something on his blog one time about credibility for serpent seed, and his response back was stay away from foolish men like me. So you know, I still admire the man. I still have a great deal of admiration for what he did as far as debating evolutionists, and I look forward to him being released from prison. And my wife and I do pray for Ken Hovind every day. And I understand that, you know, serpent seed is a little hard to take for people, but having said that, you know, I do have a great deal of admiration for what Ken Hovind has done for the kingdom of God. And I wanted to read his letter. Again, it's kind of long, and I'm going to have to read it kind of fast. So here goes, and if you're not interested, turn the video off now, because this is just going to be Ken Hovind's letter. Dear Rudy, thanks for the card. I'm glad you liked the movie by Pastor Anderson. I wish I could see it, maybe soon. Here's a case update. Thanks for your prayers, Ken Hovind. Okay, and then here's his stock letter that he's been sending out to everybody that writes him. Fall 2012 update, The Move. Well, I'm in Berlin, New Hampshire. They pronounce it Berlin for a good reason. My 5th camp. It sure wasn't my idea to get moved way up here, but Romans 8:28 still applies. Trials and testing can make you bitter or better. It's your choice. I choose to trust God and to use it for good. I may be in prison, but I never want the prison to be in me. The BOP, and I don't know what BOP stands for, but it probably is some reference to a prison system. The BOP built this new prison up here 4 years ago, and it has been sitting empty for a lack of budget. Suddenly they found the money to create several hundred new federal employee jobs in time for the election. Anyway, there are only about 60 of us campers here now, so we are staying in the huge new medium security prison that's built for 1,800 men. We have private rooms and lots of activities and food that is great. The staff is even friendly and helpful. That's a change from some of the places I have been. I pray they never lose that attitude. In a month or so, we will be moved 1/2 mile up the hill to the new camp that is designed for 120 men. The place is on 750 acres in the middle of the woods. Bear, moose, turkeys run everywhere among the white birch and pines. I got here at the tail end of the leaves turning. It is beautiful. My new address is Ken Hovind, number 06452-017, Federal Prison Camp, P.O. Box 9000, Berlin, B-E-R-L-I-N, New Hampshire, 03570. And I'll put this in the link in case you want to write a letter to Ken Hovind yourself. So we got to hurry up here because I got a lot of reading to do, and we only got about 10 minutes. When I found out they were planning to move me here 300 miles further from my home than I was in Colorado, I filed lots of paperwork to have them move me back to Pensacola or Montgomery, Alabama instead. Florida Senator Marco Rubio's office even called the BOP, but here I am anyway. And then it gives the BOP's phone number, which is 407-254-2573. It's still not too late. If enough people ask him to apply pressure, I could still be moved into my region before Christmas. Remember Luke 18:5. Anyway, the last thing America needs is another prison. We have 5% of the world's population and 25% of the world's prisons, and over 90% of the world's lawyers, I hear. 1 Timothy 6:10. See Infowars.com. That's the first time I ever heard Ken Hovind talk about Infowars. See Infowars.com for more on that. There are some who introduce legislation every year to cut back on prison times and to cut the budget, but their bills often die for lack of support. It gives a bunch of email addresses here. I'll put those in the information bar. Emailing those addresses can keep you up to speed on the laws that need support. It's amazing what a few phone calls or letters to congressmen or senators can do. Most politicians are afraid of appearing soft on crime, so please tell them that this system is hard on families, the budget, the economy, and it is unscriptural. God's perfect word, Psalms 19:7, never calls for prisons. Read The Kennel by Elijah Green, a pseudonym, on www.2peter3.com or amazon.com for lots more on that. I'll be 60 January 15th, and I'm blessed with great health so far. My mind is still clear, farp, and shokest, and I can clink pretty fairly. I think he's trying to be funny there. There doesn't appear to be much permanent brain damage from all the fighting with the evolutionists for 25 years either. Lots of God's kids in the Bible and throughout history have been allowed to go to prison or captivity. God sure teaches you things here you just can't learn anywhere else. Lots of his word are written by men in my spot. I've been blessed to write about 25 books and earn some more degrees in here. As much as I don't want to be here, God is using it for good. Genesis 50:20. Maybe time will help others prepare to come. Maybe my time will help others prepare to come and will keep them from falling away. 2 Thessalonians 2:1-3. Legal update. November 2nd makes 6 years for me to be locked up. Wow. God has been good through it all. My son and my family continue to get the gospel and the creation message out via creationtoday.org. And I continue to fight the case. When I was moved from South Carolina, they kept my legal files for 20 months, causing the court to deny my appeal as too late, time barred. So we are suing the BOP over this. It may cause the court to reopen that appeal and rule on the 20 violations listed in document number 365 on 2 Peter 3. Please pray we win that one soon. Paul J. Hansen at hotmail.com is the CSE trustee and is doing a great job on a shoestring budget. There are 3 separate battles going on, so please pray for him and call him at 402-957-2853 if you want to help. We have identified over 20 laws the government broke to put me in here. Because roaches and evil men hate the light, John 3:19, we keep everything about the case, including what they did wrong, posted on 2peter3.com. Please share it with those who claim I broke some law. I pray God will use this case to bring reform in many areas and draw many souls to Christ. It would be cool if they call me to testify before the Senate about how to fix the prison or budget problems. I would love that. One of my recent blogs covers some of my ideas on that topic. Speaking of blogs, please get them and spread them all over for me while I can't. Unaltered, please. I don't know what Facebook or Twitter is. I've been here for 6 years. But lots of folks follow the case there. If you have comments or questions, please send them to Laura or John below, and I'll respond as quickly as possible. Now he talks about soul winning and the end times. So here we go. 2 Peter 3 says that scoffers will be willingly ignorant of the creation, the flood, and the coming judgment. I preached for years on the first 2, but wasn't sure of my position on the third. Several years ago, I was forced by the evidence to abandon the pre-trib rapture idea I held to for 40 years. I sure wish it were true, but it's not. Jeremiah's fellow prophets sure wished bad times and captivity were not coming as well. Jeremiah 18:through 25. But they were. My book on this topic is nearly done, but has had incredible opposition from Satan. Oh well, that's his job for now, I guess. Anyway, we will be here for the tribulation, but not for the wrath of God, which falls in the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord, mentioned hundreds of times, has two parts: wrath and blessing. We are raptured out in the day of Christ, right after the sun and moon go dark. Read the passages about that in Isaiah 13:10, Joel 2:31, 3:15, Matthew 24:23-31, Mark 13:24, Luke 21:25, and Acts 2:20, and it becomes clear. The sequence is Daniel 9:27, treaty to build the temple, 3.5 years of falling away. Treaty is broken, Antichrist revealed. Treaty is broken, Antichrist revealed, 3.5 years, great tribulation, sun and moon go dark, then the rapture, 1,040 days of wrath, and then it says 2300, Daniel 8:13. Oh, so 1,260 equals 1,040. Return on white horses for Armageddon, 1,000 years of blessings, great white throne of judgment, Revelation 20. How could I miss it for 40 years? We will see the first 5 seals of Revelation 6 and be raptured out when the 6th one is broken and the sun and moon go dark, verses 12 and 13. This will be the great time to win crowns, if we are faithful, even unto death, Revelations 2-3. Soul winning in here has been a blast. I led about 50 men to Christ in Florence, Colorado, and one as I was being transferred here. If you have never led a soul to Christ or used to but quit, please get my new 3-book series I wrote for my 5 grandkids, ages 5 through 10, called The Adventures of the Hovind Grandkids, from Laura_Holm, Holm, at yahoo.com, or John CPT Hilton at yahoo.com. Either of them can add you to the list to receive my almost every weekly blogs, How to Debate an Evolutionist lessons, updates, or other prison writings. There is a special prize offered in Daniel 12:3 for those who turn people to righteousness. I want that prize. You can have it too. Forget about the ball going through the hoop or the hopeless economy, and win souls for the Lord. Read the grandkid books to see how easy it is. It's the most fun thing to do in the whole world, and the only thing that will matter in a million years. I'll see you at the finish line. Revelation 20, Ken Hovind. Okay, that's the letter from Ken Hovind. I hope that you're keeping him in your prayers, and I think it's a tragedy that our modern society has put a man like that in prison. And I pray that he gets his freedom soon, and that we are once again able to hear him speak and able to hear him discuss what he's got to say about evolution and everything else. May God bless Ken Hovind and his family, and may God bless the Bible believers, and may God bring divine justice to the wicked people of the world.